Welcome to this episode of Big Mistakes in Real Estate. I am Isaac Ocean, and we are going to go over the difference between a realtor and a real estate agent. What's the difference? Find out right after this.
Everyone makes mistakes, but these mistakes can cost you thousands in commission. Are you a real estate agent? Then listen up and learn from the Big Mistakes in Real Estate podcast with your host, Isaac Ocean.
What's up, everybody? I am the host of the show. Thanks for tuning in. So what is the difference between a real estate agent and a realtor? We're going to get to that right after we go over the Facebook Live. Guys, reach out to the Facebook Live because when I have guests, I'm going to have them live on Facebook. So while you're listening to the actual live interview, after or even during, you can fire off some questions if you want, in case there's something they say that's interesting, you need clarification on, or you want them to dive a little bit deeper into a subject. Just fire off a couple questions because some of the people on here are really hard to get in touch with, and we have them on the show just for an hour. So that is a great opportunity to get on there to get a little bit more knowledge. So do that and check out our YouTube channel because we're going to be coming out with some training. If you're catching this 2-3 weeks, as soon as this launches, a couple weeks later, we're going to be launching some training on the YouTube channel. So be ready to check that stuff out because I'm going to make sure that it's comprehensive and is total in training. So you are a master. When you leave there, you will know everything about the stuff that we train you on because learn it once, and that's kind of all you need to do. As long as you learn it once, you learn it right, and just move on with your life. That's the idea. So what is the difference between a real estate agent and just a realtor? Well, only half of all licensed real estate agents are realtors. And I got that information from NAR. So it's pretty factual information. So what is the deal with that? So the 50% of all real estate agents are realtors and the other 50% are not realtors. So not everybody is a realtor. It's a very confusing thing. So kind of what is it? So who can be a realtor is an interesting rabbit hole to go down to. So not only can real estate agents be realtors, but home appraisers, property managers, real estate counselors, and real estate brokers can all be realtors, but not all of them are realtors, or none of them have to be realtors. Welcome to being a real estate agent, where we confuse everybody. And that's just the brutal truth. But each of these do require one thing, a real estate license. So each of these home appraisers require a real estate license. Property managers require a real estate license. Real estate counselors, real estate brokers both require real estate license. So they all require that, but the realtor designation, the realtor fees, not necessarily. That's where it kind of gets weird. So what is a real estate agent? Okay, we're going to clarify that first. So a real estate agent is somebody who goes to school for real estate, is passed the state required test and the amount of time to be in classroom and all of the testing and paid all of the fees and passed the background check, etc. And then after they get the license, they can assist in buying and selling and leasing property. So they can buy, sell, and lease residential property and also commercial property. Afterwards, to maintain the license, you need to make sure you are having your continuing education on top of the requirements to get it. Then you need to maintain it. And this is all you really need to buy and sell homes is just the real estate license. But this gets a little complicated. So then that's what a real estate agent is. Now, what is a realtor? Okay. A realtor is you have to pay your local dues, your local and national dues. And once you do, then you are a realtor. Then afterwards, you have to take the Code of Ethics course. You have to be an active member. Like, you can't be a realtor and then let it lapse. So some people were once realtors, some people were never realtors, and some people have been realtors their entire career. So you can let it lapse too. So you must have a real estate license in order to join this. So if you don't have a real estate license and you let yours lapse, well, NAR will not necessarily let theirs lapse, because one of their things is that we don't check for real estate license. We don't check for all of that CE credit if you're doing the continuing education. So they don't remind you of any of that stuff. That is all on you. So keep that in mind. So there's also a higher code of ethics than the regular real estate agent. So not only do you have to go to class for all this stuff, but there's 17 different articles that you need to follow, which honestly are all good. They make you, or the people that you work with who are also realtors, that they're kind of following a higher standard. Just because the realtor name in the actual real estate world still does carry some weight, and we'll get to that in a minute. Although this episode is going to be way shorter than the typical episode, because I don't want to put in a bunch of fluff here, so I'm going to breeze through the rest of this, but we should be done in about 5 more minutes, guys. So this is where it becomes kind of not here. Let's go over this part. Realtor versus broker. Okay, I know this is crazy. I'm going to lose a lot of you guys on this because you're like, what's the difference between a realtor and a broker? You an idiot. Seriously, this is what people have asked. I am just answering the question. These are the beginning parts of Big Mistakes in Real Estate as a podcast. So these are just the questions that I'm going over for newer agents. As the series goes on, we're going to go into way more advanced stuff. So a realtor versus a broker. So a broker must be an active agent before becoming a broker. Normally, each state's a little bit different, but normally you have to be a real estate agent before you become a real estate broker. That's a big difference, because you can just become a realtor. As soon as you get a real estate license, you can say, hey, I want to be a realtor. And they're like, what? Come on over. And you're like, cool, here's my money. And then you're a realtor. Boom, congratulations. Oh yeah, don't forget to go to your class, because they are serious about that. So you're basically a realtor as long as you pay the fees. Let's be real. You're going to have some additional education on top of everything else when you become a realtor. You do have to go to their code of ethics class, which I think is 4 hours. You can bang it out pretty quick though. And then you have to do that every 4 years, retake that class. But they also offer a bunch of other training at their facility. Like, you can, if there should be a local board in your area that offers classes, or you can take online classes anywhere in the world for stuff like IMAP, the MLS, social media marketing, etc. And the classes are all there for you. So that's a huge resource, especially if you're new. Take all of the classes you can when and if you decide to join the board, which we will get to joining the real estate board right after this.
Are you learning? Good, because that's the point. But do me a favor. Subscribe if you have not already. And if you're feeling really frisky, give me a review on your favorite podcast player. Now back to the show.
Boom. And guys, those reviews really do help. And please spread the word about Big Mistakes in Real Estate. Somebody that in your life that's a real estate agent could really benefit from this. Don't do the competition thing where you're like, I will never share this with anybody. This is my gold. Don't be the dragon hoarding all of the gold. Share some of the gold. It's all free. It's all free. And I want to help you guys, and I want to get some listeners on the show. I want to get some of you guys that have made some big mistakes reach out to me. And if you have made a big mistake in real estate, you want to share it on the show, please come on. You are more than welcome. And there are a ton of people already reaching out. We have a great guest coming up next week. So here we go. So the term realtor, let's do a little sidetrack here real quick. The term realtor always comes with a capital R. Why is this? It's because the realtor, the word realtor, is trademarked. And they trademarked it with a capital R. which means wherever you see it and to use it appropriately, it should always be capitalized. Some fun random facts about that. So, should you become a realtor whenever you get your real estate license? Honestly, it kind of depends on what your goals are, but I'm going to assume that you are going to be a real estate agent. You are going to work with a broker. You need access to the MLS, and you need access to buyers, sellers, leasing, and all that other good stuff. And you want some additional training. 100% you should join the board, NAR, National Association of Realtors. There's a bunch of controversy that I'm not going to go into on this show, but you can look up about what NAR does and how they control the market or whatever. But honestly, I don't care at this point in my career. I really don't. They give great training. They give me stuff that I use all the time. No, it's not free and it's definitely expensive, but it also prevents everybody and their mother from paying $50 a year fees, and everybody would be a real estate agent. You would be an idiot to not be a real estate agent. But if that's like $1,000 for fees, which it is, it's pretty much $1,000. It's like $800, $900 here in Palm Beach County. So if you have those higher fees, you're keeping people. I know it's like a higher threshold, and I know that you can use that as like a whatever, but I personally like the higher fees. I don't want more real estate agents in the industry. There's already a crap ton of agents. So I want those higher fees personally, and I think that they're worth it. I do think that you get value for your money. Some of their technology feels like it's ancient, like the Aztecs personally built the MLS I use. I swear. It was like on the original like AOL dial-up. That's where they got their design from. I don't know what, it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all, but it does the job, and I guess that's kind of what it matters. So, should you become a realtor? Yes, and here's some couple reasons why. I know they didn't pay me to say any of this stuff, but you get up to the minute info. Like people that are like, oh, you don't need MLS because I have Trulia and blah, 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 blah. Even Realtor.com does not have the MLS info that is up to date to the minute like we get it. So you get really, truly up to date information. You do not get that anywhere near the quality of information. There's countless times where you run into an issue where the information on Trulia was like, where did they pull this from? Like, oh, I've got an idea where they pulled it from. It's right up there. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. So the information is definitely key as a real estate agent. You need good information. That is worth a couple $100 a year. Not to mention the training. The training is outstanding that you get. You can get in person or online. You get some amazing access on their websites to some statistics that you can use in your mailers. A lot of real estate agents aren't utilizing the fact that Realtor.com offers a ton of resources for mailers for free, like some really good stuff that makes you look like a professional. And you know what you have to do? You know what you have to do? Nothing. You don't have to do anything. It's one of those resources that's just like, oh, cool. That's there, but you don't know it's there and not enough people utilize it. Even though they advertise about it, most people just don't look into it. They just don't want to do it. So they also offer the newsletter that I was telling you guys about on a previous episode, where at the very back, they give you that little infographic that you can share on social media. Tons of articles in there, staying up to date on all the laws that are changing. Like my personal realtor magazine is specifically for Florida, which is awesome because what happens in California, I don't really care about. I mean, let's be real. I realize that you're people out in California, and no offense to anybody in California. What I'm saying is, in my career, I don't care about what changes in the law in real estate in California. I only care about Florida, and that's what they give you, very specific information just on that. It's huge. Then you get your MLS access, which is your subscriptions and all that other stuff. Now, this is some of the controversy, guys. Some places, apparently, because I don't live everywhere, I had to research this stuff, but apparently some places the MLS is attached to you being a realtor. So without you being a realtor, you will have no access to the MLS, which means most real estate agents won't take you seriously. Now, you might be like, oh, they'll take me seriously because anybody can take me seriously. Well, here's the deal. If you are not a realtor and you call somebody up, I don't know if you're real. I don't know. It's one of those things that you need to just pay your fees to be taken seriously. Because that's like the entry level thing. Like if you don't have access to the MLS or form simplicity, or there's a bunch of little tiny things that just make you seem like you know what you're doing and that you're up to date with all the technology. And being a realtor is one of them. When you meet a real estate agent who's not a realtor, another sidetrack craziness is some places, if you're not a realtor, they do not have to offer you the full 3% that's typical for a real estate agent. They can offer you 1%. So even if you're not a realtor, watch what's on the contract, because some of the homes that you're going to sell, you won't make 3%, you make 1%. So be really careful wherever you live, because all of these things that I'm sharing with you are very area specific. So look into it. So here's some of the cons. Look, it's expensive. It's expensive to be a real estate agent. Almost $1,000 every year. I was like, wait, what? That's a lot of money to me. So when that $1,000 comes out, the first time was the hardest because you don't have any deals. But now the deals are coming in, and when you get $5,000 checks, and it feels really good because it feels really good, you can pay for it really easily, and it's right, and you can write it off. And not only that, the first time you do it, it can be paid in installments, and it is prorated, at least here in Florida. That proration is a normal thing. Getting it broken up into payments, I had to beg, but beg I did, and I got my way, and thank you for that, because I couldn't have paid it all at once. Like, no joke, I couldn't take no for an answer. Taking no for an answer was the end of my real estate career very quickly. Well, here lies Isaac's real estate career. It was a beautiful burn, like a firework. Over. So that is expensive. You do have to take, another con is that you have to take additional classes on top of your continuing education. That realtor training or NAR training is not going to count for your CE credits unless it's a paid for course or maybe a free course that they offer CE credits for. So be careful choosing classes for that. Your broker is most likely going to require you to be a member of NAR for various reasons. Might go into that in another episode. So you have to redo the code of ethics every 4 years. So that original class that you took, you do have to retake it every 4 years. And then I want to talk about Supra, because me and you, Supra, we got beef. So Supra Lockbox, I had to pay my original MLS fees, and then I found out about Supra, which lucky day, it was an additional fee. Oh, the joy that day when all of that money floated out of my account. So Supra is an additional fee on top of everything else. I'm assuming it's like a standard fee throughout the entire United States, and it's like $130 a year or something like that. They set you up with like a key fob that you don't need. Don't even add it to your keychain. If your keychain looks anything like mine, I just have countless keys on my keychain. Nothing else can go there. So I don't even use it. I just use the app, but be prepared for that fee that's going to hit you too. And you do not need to be a realtor to access the MLS in some states, as this violates some antitrust laws. Again, I'm going to say that. You do not need to be a realtor to access the MLS in some states, as this violates antitrust laws. That's going to be local, on a local level. And I have no idea what your local level says. So do your research into that. So I know this was a pretty deep dive into the difference between a realtor and a real estate agent, but you guys were asking the questions, so I'm just answering them. So on the next episode, we are talking real estate teams. And we have our second guest on the show ever, and he's going to talk about his experience being on a real estate team and how it all worked out. Now, I am super excited about everything that's happening with Big Mistakes in Real Estate. We got a guest next week coming from Canada. We had Brandon from Wise Agent on the last episode. Life is going great over here at Big Mistakes in Real Estate. Do you guys have anybody that you think would be an amazing fit for the show and they have their own story? Check out www.bigmistakesandrealestate.com and fill out and go straight to guest. There's a tab there and have them fill that out. You guys are amazing, and I will see you every Monday at 4 p.m. Boom. Thank you, YouTube, for checking everything out. You're going to see a playlist over here that is for new real estate agents. If that is you, click play. I really recommend the other video over there too from Wise Agent. We're going to give you a whole walkthrough of a CRM for your real estate career that could change your life. Check out the podcast, bigmistakesandrealestate.com, and subscribe on your favorite player.